Brick breaking is one of the oldest game genres there is, but what happens when you add some occult themes, turn the bricks into enemies, and then make the whole level move like an endless runner? Watch on and find out.
My name is Thoraxe, and this is Strategy for Busy People. If you've got a few minutes, I'll tell you what to play.
Another episode, another game. This time it's Ball X Pit by Kenny Sun. I've got just over 2 hours into this title. Now, in the intro, I mentioned that brick breaking is one of the oldest game genres. Generally speaking, the 1976 title Breakout is hailed as the first of its kind. Long may it reign. Things have come a long way in the 50 years since that original Breakout title hit the arcades. Come on, you knew that joke was coming. Anyway, 50 years later, and here we are breaking bricks again, but this time you're a little soldier who is apparently also a juggler, and your skill with the balls is what's going to get you out of this mess. And you should also get your mind out of the gutter. Functionally, the premise is pretty simple. Your little character can move around the play area, which is basically a chute made by two walls. The enemies are in fixed positions and advance somewhat Tetris-like towards you. You point your little crosshair where you want it to go, and more or less, you shoot the balls. The balls bounce around and hit the enemies and eventually destroy them. Overall, this is a pretty simple situation. Where things start to get interesting are all of the other elements that were layered onto what is essentially a pretty simple brick-breaking game. Firstly, as you destroy enemies, they drop little crystals, which, as you pick them up, fill up your XP meter. When you level up, much like many of these bullet hellish kind of games, you get to choose from a selection of power-ups. In the background, the character you're using also gets a random attribute bonus, but that's not functionally all that interesting in the short term, since it's basically completely random. In the case of Ball X Pit, the power-ups are some kind of enhancement to your balls. Fireballs, ice balls, extra bouncy balls, faster or slower balls, or even balls that go through enemies. Yes, I wish I could have said balls that go through walls, but while it rhymes and is funny, it is not actually a thing in this game. These power-ups can be stacked until the power-up hits level 3, at which point it can no longer be stacked. But that's not the end of the party. Additionally, you only have 8 enhancement slots that you can fill, but you'll see why you may not want to fill them all up momentarily. Okay, yes, there are some non-ball related power-ups like armor, which prevents damage, but that's boring, so shut up. Another thing that you can pick up are these special orbs that come in a few different flavors. One flavor is Fission, which simply raises the level, randomly, of one of your existing power-ups up to the normal max. Once your balls are maxed out, when you pick up an orb, you will also get the option of fusing them together. This allows you to uncover new, exciting combinations of balls to play with. And if fusing your balls wasn't exciting enough, you also get the option of evolving your balls into unique combinations. As an example, I had one set of laser balls that would shoot horizontal lasers at all enemies in the same row. And I had one set of laser balls that would shoot vertical lasers at enemies in the same column. And by their powers combined and evolved, I got the Holy Laser Ball that would do laser damage in both the same row and the same column. Remember, kids, 3 is the level thou shalt max. 4 shalt you not max. 5 is right out. The rogue elements of the game to me are the fact that you really don't know what ball power-ups you're going to get, and until you fuse or evolve them the first time, you don't know what combinations you're going to get. So there's potentially a lot of learning what ball enhancements suit your playstyle or what power-ups you're going for. I gotta say though, that the combination of the Holy Laser Ball with the Vampire Lord Ball was pretty epic. Okay, so you're definitely going to die. A lot. It can be frustrating that, especially in the early game, you have very little hope of successfully completing runs unless the RNG really works in your favor. But in death comes a gift. Kind of? There is also this metagame of improving your base camp. You get to build buildings that give you new characters or enhance your characters or whatever. You also have to collect resources to build the buildings, and unsurprisingly, the mechanics of construction and resource gathering involve breaking bricks and throwing balls. Hey, before I give my final verdict, if this is your first episode, this one's free. But if you've watched me before, we're going to make an agreement. You help me level up by clicking subscribe, and I'll keep making these videos. I'll spend the time playing the games and making content that I hope you'll like, and you'll return the favor, okay? Leave comments, tell me what you think. It's all good. You just agree to engage. That's all I ask. The final verdict. I don't know how many times I will have said balls by the end of this review, but it's got to be a new record. In spite of the simple mechanics and the reliance on RNG to either make your day or ruin it, I have to say that I managed to put 2 hours into this game, and I kinda wanted to play more. The music is interesting and the graphical style is pretty fun. Overall, these low-poly, low-res, roguelite, bullet hell, idler-ish games are all hitting home in different ways for me. On my trademark 3-point score scale of avoid, meh, and I forgot to eat, there was wheat, but I'm not sure if there will ever be a bakery for bread. In spite of that, I think this game is totally worth checking out. It surprised me that I would be as into it as I was, but while spending my powered-up balls bouncing down the corridor was thrilling, in the end I had to leave this pit of horrors for a much more interesting pit. The barbecue pit. 19.